Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Kugan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
you get up, you dress up, and you fucking shut up.
Kugan Cassius, IFL TV here with... I didn't even know it was George standing there, to be honest with you. I didn't recognise you were standing there. George Groves is here.
I don't need an introduction to David.
I genuinely didn't know you were standing there, honestly. I'm sorry.
Looking after HAYE, in case anyone starts anyone. Security.
Fair enough, fair enough. David, how are you, mate?
Not bad. All's good, yeah.
Heavyweight fight week. You've been here before. Obviously, you've been involved in a lot of this stuff in the past before, but this one's obviously had these twists and turns. You've made some comments that have been picked up on in interviews regarding certain situations regarding DILLIAN WHYTE. What's your summary of kind of the last week?
What happens. We don't know what's really happening behind the scenes. Nobody really knows. But transpired there was an adverse finding that didn't allow him to fight. Robert HELENIUS fought a week ago, so he's in decent shape. He can jump in there, and stylistically, I'm always of the mindset that if you've got a big fight coming up, as Anthony Joshua has with Deontay Wilder, having an opponent with a similar dimensions, similar-ish style, isn't the worst thing. You know, for instance, getting someone like Carlos Takam pulling forward is very different. So HELENIUS, same sort of body position in terms of long left hand, held out, 6'7" or whatever he is. I think it's a good sort of guide to how the fight against Wilder may pan out. So I'm looking, hopefully, for AJ to go out there and assert himself, take full control of the situation. You know, HELENIUS can crack a bit, but that shouldn't stop him going in there, throwing quality shots and getting HELENIUS out of there, if he wants to do that against Deontay Wilder.
We know there was a scramble for opponents. I think Derek Chisora's name was even chucked in there at some point. There was Manuel Chad. There was quite a few opponents which predictably were going to put themselves in. Some, obviously, they all fought out for whatever reason, and it was HELENIUS. But I think for Anthony Joshua, would you agree that to get his head around that situation, it kind of, not saying raises a question mark about Saturday, but he's got to be on it, because like mentally for Anthony Joshua to discover that situation 6 days ago to now, like I said, at the weigh-in fighting HELENIUS, that's got to be a bit of a head fuck.
Not really. He's been there, done it, seen it. He's Olympic champion. He's been two-time world champion. He's had fighters pull out on last minute before and had replacement opponents. I don't think it will bother him whatsoever. I think as long as he stays on point, mentally focused, you know, he's got a point to prove. He's got a packed out venue, O2 Arena. He wants to put a show on. I don't believe he put a show on last time. I definitely believe he wants to really let everyone know what he's all about and really give the excitement before the big one later on in the year, or if not earlier next year in Saudi with Deontay Wilder.
David, you was obviously sat on the table there with Simon Jordan there. I didn't see it, but there was the carry-on from Eddie Hearn and Simon Jordan. Did you listen to the interview from a few days ago?
Yeah, I saw some clips of it, and both going at it with each other. It's quite funny.
Yeah. I mean, did it carry on? I missed it.
No, there was no real talk of it there. So I think they're both over it now.
Yeah.
Until they sit down again together.
Absolutely. But like I said, if he comes through this fight, there is a fight with Deontay Wilder that is looming for Anthony Joshua. Would he have one eye on that going into the fight this week?
No. He's going to 100% have all mindset on Robert HELENIUS on Saturday. Because if that doesn't work, then that big one isn't going to happen. So I mean, he needs to look good here, not only for himself, but the fans.
David, you've got to go, so thank you very much for your time, all right? Top man. Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Kugan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
you get up, you dress up, and you fucking shut up.